Hello everyone, today's story features an update from yesterday's video as well. So I will recap that original story and the update before we go to the new one. Yesterday's story was, my husband knocked out my brother for calling me a whore, and my parents want me to choose. What is the right choice? Sorry for the throwaway account, I have colleagues on my main account, and I want to keep this as private as possible, but also need advice, as my title says basically. This past weekend, me and my husband were over at my parents' house for a barbecue. The day was going great until my brother, for some reason, started to have a go at me, calling me names and belittling me. My husband pulled my brother aside and had a talk with him, and the insults stopped. An hour or so later, we were standing around talking with some friends and family members, and my brother came up to me and told me I'm a whore. His exact words were, "You know you are a fucking whore, right?" He said it loud enough for almost everyone at the party to hear. All I saw was my husband next to me look at me. Then I felt a push to the side, my husband stepping in front of me, and the next thing was my brother out cold on the ground with blood on his face. All I heard is my mother yelling and my husband saying, "You don't talk to my wife like that. I warned you already." Before I continue, my husband didn't hurt me. He didn't push me hard or anything like that. Don't know how to describe it, but it was like a push that someone will give you when they are trying to pass. I went like one step back, that is all. I am not mad at my husband. I'm mad at my brother. The whole day he was demeaning me, insulting me, belittling me. Don't know where this came from, as he has never talked to me like that, or to anyone that I know of. The bigger problem I have it that I have to choose, either my husband or my parents. My parents are pissed and have given me an ultimatum. I either leave my husband and divorce him, or they cut me off completely. My husband doesn't give a crap that they are mad. The only thing he is mad about it, that he only got one punch in his words. I love my husband and don't want to lose him, but I also don't want to lose my parents. They have supported me through a lot and have always been there for me. I know they are serious, as this is the first time they have ever issued me with an ultimatum. They also threatened my husband with the assault charge, but he doesn't care and welcomed them to do it. I'm stuck between a decision that will change my life forever, and I'm panicking. I have received messages for friends and other family members that have given me support and condemn my husband, but they are leaning more on the support side. Any advice will be appreciated. Edit to clarify, I am choosing my husband. I have never questioned that, but I also don't want to lose my family. I am very family-oriented, and family to me is everything. I want to find a solution where I can keep both. Now, on to the update. First, I would like to thank everyone, and I want to apologize as well for the way I worded my post. It's no excuse, but my emotional state isn't the best. Unable to link my previous post, just look on the account. My husband is my choice, and I have no intentions of leaving him at all. Never had. I know it's early for an update, but I'm more confused now about what is going on. My parents invited me over to have a talk with them, but they wanted me to come alone as they didn't want my husband at their house. My husband refused to let me go alone and said if he isn't going, then he won't allow me to. He basically said, with you alone there, they will just pile on you and that I won't let happen. So we went together. My parents were not happy to see him, and my mother wanted to say something until my husband told her he isn't there for them. But me, and if he is forced to leave, I will leave with him. I agreed with him. Reluctantly, they agreed. My brother was there as well. He has a broken nose and chipped teeth and refused to look at me or my husband. He just kept looking at the ground even while talking. Apparently what happened with my brother is that he broke up with his girlfriend a month ago. It's more like she broke up with him, don't know the reason, don't care. I wasn't aware of this as we aren't close like that. According to him, the reason he had a go at me this weekend is because my life. According to him, my perfect life with my husband kept popping up on his feeds and he got jealous. Everything on my social media is with my husband. I don't really use it for anything else, but his feed was full of my posts, and that set him off as I had something that he didn't. It got worse when he overheard me and my mother talking when I had a discussion with her over children. Me and my husband is currently trying to have a baby, and that just made everything worse in his head. His life was falling apart, and mine was going perfectly, and I had and was trying for have what he wanted with his ex. He said he didn't take my husband seriously when he pulled him aside, and my husband warned him. I seriously don't know why he went after me, as nothing he said was true in any sense, And I did ask him why he said those things. He refused to answer me. I asked him why the whore comment because he knows my husband was my first in everything, and it has only been him all these years. He refused to answer. I asked him if trying to have a baby with my husband makes me a whore, as it involves sex, and he just left the room. I asked my parents why they didn't step in and tell my brother to leave or stop. My dad said he wanted to, but my mother told him to leave my brother be, as he is not actually hurting anyone. The same with the ultimatum, the wanted to protect my brother. I asked, what about me? And they were silent. All my father said was the ultimatum was my mother's idea, and he went along with it. This is basically where we are at the moment. A lot more was said, but I don't think it matters. My husband did apologize to my parents for what happened, but refused to apologize to my brother. When my mother asked him to apologize to my brother, he outright said no. He won't apologize for standing up for me, and my brother got what he deserved. He was warned and didn't listen. My mother said it still doesn't excuse him for hitting my brother. My husband asked my dad what will he do if someone called his wife a whore. My father said I will have a talk with that person, but will never hit someone. My husband laughed and told my dad he is a weak-willed, spineless man if he allows someone to demean his wife like that. That got my mom red in the face. I could see her get angry. That is when I told my husband it's time to leave. I told my parents that I will be going low contact with them, and the ultimatum they gave me broke the trust I had in them. I understand they wanted to protect my brother, but in doing that they hurt me. This seemed to take all the anger out of my mother. They asked if I will be cutting them out completely, and I told them that is up to them. I don't want anything to do with my brother at the moment, as he can't even apologize for what he said to me. I told them if they can respect my wishes, we will see. When we got up to leave, my husband went over to my parents and actually still greeted them politely, but told my dad it's time to grow a backbone. I don't know what I saw, but I think it was shame in my mother's face because my dad looked at my mother and she looked away from him. This is where we are at the moment. My husband on the way back home apologized for possibly escalating things, but told me it was time someone told my dad the truth. He said whatever punishment comes, he will take and deal with any fallout. I don't need to worry or stress about anything. Edit. Brother's ex cheated on him, and apparently he begged her to fix things, but she chose the other guy, and now he is just pissed and angry at every woman, and believe we will all do that eventually. Got a message from my cousin. The family had a go at my parents for allowing my brother to talk to me the way he did, and they came clean as to why he did what he did, but couldn't do it when I was over and we talked. They couldn't be honest with me and just refused to answer. So yeah, yesterday I gave my opinion on the story before this update came out, and I essentially came to the conclusion that something more was missing here. The idea that the brother would just suddenly become hostile to OP out of the blue and lead to this fight was a bit ridiculous to me. And I gave the advice that OP should limit contact with her family until they honestly apologize and put in the legwork to amend things. Now, understanding the context of the brother's motivation, it just reinforces my previous stance. The brother was being stubborn and petty. The parents are supporting that behavior. And it seems like only OP's husband cares. And while I don't think violence was a necessary step here, OP's husband is correct in stating that this father of hers is spineless. It's really sad to see a parent that cannot mediate between their children. It's probably the most basic duty of being one. But let's get some final comments before moving on. Top comment from Ashamed Director 428. The fact that brother openly admitted he didn't take husband seriously when he told him to wind his neck in shows that brother has never met a consequence in his life. He's used to getting away with whatever he wants. Comment from Angel Flow. Your parents suck as well as your brother. And one more by Stella Luna 29. I doubt this is the first time your parents have chosen your brother over you. No way this behavior comes out of nowhere. I'm sorry for you, but I'm very glad you have a stand-up husband. Now on to the next story. I had just found out that my 24 male partner, 23 female, has been cheating on me. What is the best thing to do in this situation? This had just happened recently. And when I mean recently, I mean a few minutes ago recently. I don't know the specific details, but all I know is that she has been cheating on me for a while. The story that she gave me was that her ex was blackmailing her with her nudes to stay in a relationship with her, and ended up falling in love with me while still being in said relationship. I don't believe her at all. Absolutely not. Mind you, this is a long-distance relationship. We met in real life while me and my family were on a vacation to Finland before me and her got separated. I asked her to show me the chats she's been having with him and to put me in a group chat with him, but she's been avoiding it and incredibly reluctant. She's straw-manning a lot and chalks it up to her parents keeping an eye on her phone activities. But if that was true, she would not have sent me nudes of her prior to this. Her excuses are full of holes. Not only that, she has his contacts saved as my baby, followed with a bunch of heart emojis, while I'm just my first name. They also have matching profile pictures. Another thing to mention is that apparently her parents want her to marry this guy. What a coincidence. Yeah, I honestly don't believe a single word she says. I don't know what to do anymore. A small portion of me wants to believe in her, but I want it all to end. This is my first time being cheated on. Most of my relationships never ended this badly. The obvious answer is to just end things with her, but I want to hear you guys' thoughts TLDR. My girlfriend cheated on me, and now I don't know what to do. So for this story, it seems pretty cut and dry. No need to even mince words or get nuanced. It just doesn't seem like she is that into you. That's about the gist of it. She probably used you for attention, and given the ages of the both of you, it's not even that much of a stretch. You're both still young. You both may be a degree still immature when it comes to relationships. Now, don't get it twisted. That's not a defense for what she did. It's pretty scummy behavior. But unfortunately, it really isn't that strange given your ages. And I know that sucks, but until someone has been on the receiving end of heartbreak because of being used by another individual, it's hard for them to see things as you do. And that comes with age and oftentimes multiple attempts at a serious relationship. So, on to the comments for this one. First one by Taylor5. Did you say you are long distance? If so, block and move on. She isn't worth another second of your time or energy. Next by NeoChronic87. Bro, you're the other man. She isn't cheating on you. She's cheating on him with you. You're the mistress. Do you really need us on here to tell you what you should do? Come on, brother. Also, see you at the gym, bro. By Creative Recover. A small portion of me wants to believe in her. Don't. Your girlfriend is a cheater, and if you stay in it, this relationship will destroy your self-esteem and mental health. I would strongly recommend drawing a line in the sand and moving on. Getting over the relationship will be tough, but in the long run, you'll 100 times better off for having faced up to it. And final comment by Southern District 367. Sounds like to me she has a lot of personal issues, and even maybe some trauma that allows her to treat others like that. I went through something very similar, and I was only hurting myself by staying. As much as it sucks and hurts, do your best to just separate yourself from her and the relationship. Once I finally let go, my life started getting easier mentally, and I started caring again. I have yet to see anyone else besides long distance for a while. I would just separate and work on yourself and your recovery. Just know nothing that happened is because of you. She has issues that she needs to sort out. Something was missing in her life at one point, and she needs to fill it with that extra attention. Lots of people are like that, unfortunately. Move on and stay strong, my guy. DMs are open if you need it. Well, that's going to be it for me for today. Thank you all for listening as always. Be sure to leave a comment below about what you think about today's story and update. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you in the next one.